The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the David Pakman Show. Not having a good hair day, Lewis pointing out today. Also, quick announcement. After this week, the YouTube live stream will be temporarily suspended as we start going into the studio upgrades, conversion to high definition, all of that type of thing. So absolutely no effect on anybody who listens to the podcast, watches on any of our 150 television or radio affiliates, watches YouTube clips, listens on Stitcher on your Android or iPhone. Absolutely no effect at all. There will only not be a live stream on YouTube. Otherwise, everything continues as normal, Lewis.
Yes, we apologize to all the trolls who love to go in the channel and do their thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of interesting stories to discuss from over the weekend. The Army has blocked the Guardian website and other websites reporting on the documents released initially by the Guardian that came from Edward Snowden. So to explain what happened here, initially the Edward Snowden revelations, documents, statements were published by the Guardian by Glenn Greenwald. And afterwards, many other media outlets, I would say, probably in the hundreds of different papers, websites, etc., reported on those documents, including content from those documents. And the Herald talked to an Army spokesperson, and the Army spokesperson confirmed that the Guardian's website has been blocked since those stories first emerged within the Army, saying that they were weeding out some access to prevent to press coverage and online content about the NSA leaks so that their employees wouldn't be able to see classified information. Initially, it appeared as though the only website in question was the actual Guardian website. Turns out that's not the case. U.S. News and World Report spoke with, they talked to another Pentagon spokesperson, and they went on and said, according to Pentagon spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Damian Pickert, news websites that re-report information first published by the Guardian or other primary sources are also affected. If that particular website runs an article that our filters determine has classified information, the particular content on that website will remain inaccessible. Pickert said the blackout affects millions of computers on all Department of Defense networks and systems. My thoughts on this are mixed. If the information is classified, then your employer, if it happens to be the U.S. government has a right to block your access to that. I understand that. At the same time, this is called journalism, right? No matter what your problems with Glenn Greenwald or Edward Snowden or anything else, the newspapers are simply reporting. They are doing journalism. And one of my favorite quotes is from George Orwell, Lewis, and he said, journalism is printing what someone else does not want printed. Everything else is public relations. And if the U.S. Army, if the military is going to take as a policy that anything they don't want soldiers to see gets blocked, it is essentially a sanitation. It is essentially a cleansing, a whitewashing of all information that is not, by using George Orwell's terms, PR. What's your reaction to the decision to block these news websites?
I mean, obviously, I can empathize, I guess, if you can call it empathize, with the government, and they feel they need to do this. See, it's that I don't really understand the content of what they're blocking. I mean, I think if I knew that, my opinion might change. I'm not really sure where I stand because I don't know really what is in danger if the public sees this stuff.
That's the thing, right? Which is, why is the Army so concerned about troops having access to information that has been made publicly available? Are the troops the enemy, or are they just concerned about the troops knowing what the government is actually doing, which might actually impede their sense of duty to the government? What do you think, Natan?
Yeah, I think it's wrong for the government, in this case the military, to prevent their own troops from seeing things that are widely available in the media. It is true that the information is classified, but it's been made public. So now that it's been made public, I don't think you should follow the same rules that would apply if it's classified and nobody knows about it.
Not only that, our troops fight for freedom of speech. We often hear that, right? We hear, hey, the troops fight for our freedom. We can say whatever we want because the troops fight for that. Okay, well, Edward Snowden told Glenn Greenwald a bunch of stuff, gave him documents. Snowden himself has been charged. Nobody is denying that he at least is presumably did commit crimes. Whether you agree with him doing it anyway, that's a different question. Glenn Greenwald and The Guardian presumably haven't broken any laws. They are blocked. The troops are not getting to enjoy the civil liberties they're presumably fighting for. And that's,
Right.
I think, the biggest problem with this.
Yeah, I will say that this definitely does not send a good message to the troops. I'd be kind of irked if I were blocked from this being in the U.S. Army. And, you have to assume they're going to get their hands on it anyway.
One way or another.
Yeah.